know if I have the right to say this, but I am one
Yes,
of the
you have the
people,
right
at least
to say.
as a Middle Eastern, I am proud of what the IDF has done. Really. I'm
Yes.
not Israeli, but I'm proud of what the IDF has done because it's serving all of us. It's serving Arabs, it's serving the people who have been suffering on the hands of the Shia militia for so
Exactly.
long and on the hands of Iran in the Arab world for so long. So it has no military, is in such a tension for 2 years and still standing and still fighting and still winning. This is phenomenal,
Yeah.
So
Let's go back to Egypt. Okay. One of the questions that I'm asking myself, and I have no answer, I assume what is the answer, but I'm not sure about it. Why Egypt allow so many ammunition, weapons, cement, equipment to build tunnel inside Gaza? Why Egypt helped them?
Yeah, actually, Egypt, I tell you what happened. So, since the 90s, Egypt allowed the tunnels between Gaza and Sinai, and they thought that it is a form of supporting Hamas and supporting what, everyone is bragging about, the resistance against Israel. And so, why? Because although Egypt had a peace treaty with Israel, it did not want to. This peace was never real. Actually,
I
this
agree.
peace treaty in Egypt has always been called a strategic agreement with Israel. So they thought so because of this peace treaty, they cannot openly support Hamas, but they can allow things like, smuggling things from Sinai to Gaza. So this happened under the eyes of the government and under the eyes of the military for so long, since the 1990s. And then when the Arab Spring happened, the Arab Spring Revolution that ousted Mubarak from power, and the Mubarak regime, this created a security gap in Sinai because the military had to move to Cairo because it's now the new leader of the country. And then the Muslim Brotherhood very quickly after the revolution took over. So kind of like the border between us and Gaza, it was very open. And Hamas infiltrated into Sinai, and they using these tunnels, these same tunnels that Egypt allowed them to create, now they are using to infiltrate into Egypt, kill the Egyptians, kill the Egyptian military personnel, attack Egyptian Christians, do terrorism in Sinai, and create. This was like an alarm for Egypt. Like, we need to get rid of them. We have to fight them. It's a security threat. So what they did at that time, the Egyptian president, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, in the year 2013, when he was still a minister of defense, he went to the Israeli side because according to the peace treaty, Egyptian troops can get only to a certain limited area in Sinai. They cannot get very close to the border with Gaza. So to do that, they need a permission from the Israeli side.
True.
Based on the peace treaty. So he went to his counterparts in the IDF and he said, we want to get closer to the border and we need your cooperation on giving us this permission. Guess how the Israeli responded?
Yes, of course, you can do it.
Yes, of course. Not only that, they said, we are coming to fight with you. We are coming to fight with you in Sinai. Which makes me every time I get moved because
do you think we are naive? You think we are naive?
No, you're good people. No, you're only good people. You're only good people. I can't believe Egypt did not even think of paying back the favor. When Israel is in a similar situation, again, it's the same enemy, which is Hamas. Egypt did not even help Israel with this enemy. They helped the enemy against Israel. They helped Hamas against Israel. So the Israelis said, we're coming to fight with you. And for the first time in the year 2015, we saw Egyptian troops and Israeli troops together in Sinai fighting against the Hamas and the radical Islamist organizations that was formed there with the help of Hamas and the Islamic Jihad. They called themselves ISIS Sinai, Daesh Sinai. So, and it was very successful. After that, Egypt decided to close all the tunnels, and they really did a very good job on that. They closed all the tunnels, they even drowned the tunnels with water, and this was great. Then, about 3 years after that, around the year 2018, 2018, the tribes in Sinai, which was doing a very big business, were running a very big business, exactly. They are now losing their biggest source of income, the tunnels. Now there are no tunnels. So they started to threaten the government, threaten the military that we will do riot, and if we do riot in Sinai, you will not be able to control us, which is true, by the way. If the tribes in Sinai are not cooperative with the government in Cairo, it will be a disaster. So all the time they are trying to appease them and accommodate them and so. And then eventually, after many negotiations between the tribes and the military, they agreed in, I think at the end of 2018, or summer 2018, they agreed to open the tunnels again. They told them, okay, you can go. The Egyptian authorities told the Sinai tribes, okay, you can go, resume your business, open the tunnels, but it has to be one way, meaning that you can only send things from Egypt inside Gaza, but nothing or no human, no thing comes from Gaza into Egypt. And actually the tribes kept the promise because they want their business to go on. So they kept the promise and they did so. But what happened is that during these years, because also the situation in Sudan and the civil war there, so a lot of weapons were smuggled into Sudan.
A lot of
weapons.
Weapons. Sorry, I thought you said women. Okay.
Yeah, were smuggled into Sudan, and the militia there, they wanted also money, so they sold some of these weapons to other terrorist organizations in the region, the most important of which is Hamas. And they smuggled it through Sinai into Gaza. And from there, Hamas got all these arms and munition that it was able to use later on against Israel on October 7. And also Iran was smuggling things through Sinai and through the tribes. It was terrible. So we ended up with the situation of October 7. We ended up with the terrorist attack of October 7, and with this situation that all of a sudden Hamas is a military power and it can come and threaten people to that extent. So this is the story of the tunnels. And unfortunately, there is a lot of corruption from the Egyptian side on this issue because military and officers and security authorities there, they were watching this happening. They were approving it. And there are reports that some of them even were taking commissions on every transaction that the tribes were making with Gaza.
First of all, this is very interesting what you are saying. And this is why I wanted to talk with you, because I knew you will say things that I never heard before. But it still didn't give me the answer why Egypt, that barely have money to feed her own citizens, put in all her budget into the military, and they built a huge one. And even lately, I heard that they cooperate with China.
China, yeah. So, it's a disaster, yeah. In my opinion.
What do you think about it?
I know, look, Egypt feels that its regional role as a big sister of Arab countries is diminishing, and has been diminishing to the point that we are seeing countries as tiny as Qatar, which was not even on the calendar, is now leading everything, in the region. And Saudi Arabia is the new big sister in the region. So Egypt is losing its regional role. They feel sidelined. They feel like, not important anymore. Even when the American president came to the region, it's the first time in history an American president comes to the Middle East region and not to meet with the Egyptian president. It never happened. So it's so insulting for the Egyptian leadership and the Egyptian military, which looks at itself as, we are the strongest Arab military, and so. So this is insulting. At the same time, the economy is terrible. It's terrible. We have an economic crisis that we have not seen before. in our whole history, by the way. It's
Mm-hmm.
unprecedented economic crisis. And
Because of
this,
the Suez,
no, because of the
no.
bad policies,
Mm.
bad government
Okay.
policies.
Okay.
Taking a lot of loans, taking a lot of
Mm.
debt from international funders and the World Bank and so, and ending up in a terrible situation and no investment inside the country. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wrong policies by the government, by the leadership. So what happened is that we are in a situation now that Egypt wants to, or the Egyptian leadership, which is the military, the intelligence, and the president, they want to find something to keep the people distracted from their problems and at the same time uh, a justification for their bad performance on economy and politics and the oppression and everything. So what is the easiest thing is a historical enemy,
Israel
historical
is historical
Israel.
anima. Yeah.
Yeah, they call it like this all the time. So what is the easiest game to play is to say, oh, Israel is at the door. We are getting in war with Israel, and now they are even exaggerating it. It's not anymore a war with Israel, it's a war with Israel and the United States from behind it
Mm.
because it supports it. We recently, actually, some of the media that is supervised by the intelligence, they made some videos claiming that, in the videos they said, so like showing off the Egyptian arsenal in Sinai right now and saying, oh, but if Iran needed to fire rockets over thousands of miles, actually Egypt is very close.
Wow.
Which was exactly, this was my
Wow.
impression when I first
Wow.
was like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
What?
We are
What are you
like,
saying?
okay, so they are saying it black and white, very loud,
Yes,
crystal clear. We want to fight Israel. But you think they really intend to fight, or it's just a propaganda to
it's
unite the
propaganda.
citizens?
It's meant for domestic audience. It's mainly
Mm.
for the domestic audience. They don't mean it. Egypt, like the Egyptian leadership, knows very well that if we get in war with Israel, we have no chance of winning over the
Really?
Israeli military. Of course, the Israeli military is way, way more powerful than the Egyptian military, regardless of all the weapons we are purchasing and everything.
Tanks, oil, whatever
Yeah,
you
we are
have.
only maybe
Mhm.
the Egyptian military is bigger in number,
Mhm.
but not in technology.
Mm.
And now we are in this age, it's a matter of technology. Whoever has the better technology wins, and Israel has this technology. Also, the Israeli army has been involved in direct wars
Mhm.
with like traditional wars and non-traditional wars with terrorist organizations.
Mhm.
This is an experience that the Egyptian military today does not have.
Does not have.
Maybe in the past, historically,
Yes.
but today, no, it does not have. It's not engaging in any wars.
So
So
they're
they
just trying to show
want
off they have the power, they
for the
want to
domestic
control.
audience is that you still they are giving a message to the Egyptian audience that you still need us at the military to lead the country because
Mm.
you cannot afford having a civilian government that cannot deal with the enemy next door. This is
Yeah.
exactly the message they are
Mhm.
trying to give.
Yes, because in Israel, there are a lot of voices. Some of them saying tomorrow morning Egypt can attack us. Some of
No,
them say no. Some of them say no, we have a real peace agreement, which I don't think we have. And in a way, it
and
makes
there
me
is
feel
nothing
very,
to gain. There is nothing to gain from attacking Israel. What's the point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Extreme Muslims don't think logical.
Yeah.
I don't. This is why I'm talking with you. I'm trying to understand how they think
But
behind
but
what
I
I
tell
see.
you, even when jihadist groups like and extremist Muslims, like the fatwa that was made about jihad on Israel, and so Egypt refused to open the border for them, refused
Mhm.
to get them, and the recent march to Gaza, and so Egypt even refused to host them in Egypt, like the global march to Gaza,
Mhm.
or get them closer to the border. So Egypt knows, like it. Yes, it may like adopt this rhetoric for the domestic audience that Israel is an enemy, we support Gaza, we support Palestine, and so and so. But no, they will not. To get in war with Israel, they know it will come with a very, very high cost. And the gain they will get from this high cost has to be much higher in order for them to take this step. So I don't think they will in any way try to provoke Israel or attack Israel at all.
Okay, at least I relieve in this front right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
why they're not letting the Palestinians enter into Egypt? Because they want this problem to stay
Yeah.
our problem and let us bleed to death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to do with the schizophrenia, political schizophrenia of the Egyptians, or the hypocrisy of the Egyptian leadership, actually. In Egypt, you will see like TV stations day and night, they are singing love to the Palestinians. Politicians are speaking about the Palestinian cause all the time. The Egyptian president himself, he made a huge conference and stood on stage saying, long live Palestine. Imagine the Egyptian president, for God's sake, Tahya Palestine, it was very annoying. I was
Yeah.
very sad to watch that. But imagine, and then when it comes to really helping the Palestinian people, I mean, I'm specifically speaking about like the people, like women, children
Yes,
who really
yes.
need help.
Let them
They
enter
don't.
into your country.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They built a double wall,
Yeah, I saw it.
and they kept the people trapped there, dealing with Hamas, dealing with the war, dealing with all the horrors there, and don't want to open the border to them.
Yes.
So where this schizophrenia is coming from, it has a legitimate reason on one side, but nonsense on the other side. The legitimate reason is that it's part of the Palestinian identity, like practicing violence wherever they exist is part of the Palestinian identity. And we have seen when they went to Lebanon, when they went
Tunis.
to everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, see, where are Palestinians? Everywhere they are practicing violence somehow. So Egypt don't want this, don't want to bring these troublemakers into the country. They know they are a problem. And that's why President Sadat, when he signed the peace treaty with Israel, he took back only Sinai and refused to take back Gaza.
Yes.
Because
He
he
was
knows.
in his way. He was smart,
Yeah.
Take those troublemakers and
Exactly.
try to live
You
with
deal
them.
with them. You deal
Yeah.
with them. Exactly. So this is the situation in Egypt, and as a result of that, we are now in this problem, in this trouble of or this state of schizophrenia. But the other justifications that does not make any sense to me is that they say, oh, if we open the border, Hamas will infiltrate into Sinai, and so. Well, you already received hundreds of the criminals and put them in very nice hotels. The people who were freed from prison in the prisoner hostage exchange during the ceasefire. So they put them in very nice hotels in Cairo, and so it's not a matter of this. It's a matter of Egypt does not want to take the responsibility of something that it knows very well it's full of trouble.
And what about China? We didn't talk about it. Why do you think they cooperate?
China.
They joined a military exercise together.
Yeah, it's actually part of the great power competition that's happening on the chessboard of the Middle East, as I like always to say. Russia and China are exploiting the situation in the Middle East in order to have greater ground and more supporters. China is more concerned about mainly its goal is trade and economic. Egypt is very well positioned between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. We have the Suez Canal. So China wants to make sure that it has a hold on this because it's part of its Belt and Road initiative, which will connect Asia with the Middle East,
The
with
trade route,
Europe. Yeah, and will make China even more powerful economically. So they want to make sure that Egypt is under their control. So while they made military equipment deals with Egypt, military sales to Egypt, at the same time, they also made treaties, like economic treaties, related to the Suez Canal, related to controlling some industries in the country, and so they are on a mission, unfortunately, and it seems that China is already aligning Egypt.
Wow, Dalia Ziada, you are so you have such an Israeli name. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
First of all, when are you plan to come to Israel?
Right now I'm applying for asylum in the United States, so I don't have a passport to travel abroad yet. So I have to wait until I have this passport, hopefully in 1 year or so.
Okay.
And I promised myself my first destination will be Israel.
Yes, and put me in first priority. I'm going to spell it.
Yes,
I'm going to show you around. I'm living in North Israel. You can see the Golan Heights here,
yes.
Syria, Lebanon, all this area. Very beautiful
Beautiful.
one. So
Beautiful.
I'm waiting for you. Do you have a message from for the Israeli people? Do you want to send them something before we end it?
Yes, I want to tell them that it's not easy what you're going through these days, but just look at your history. It's something that I've learned it from myself, this resilience. You always bounce back stronger. And I've adopted this even as part of my ideology, is just every time I'm in trouble, I just remember what the Israeli people, what the Jewish people has gone through over their history. And I tell myself, no, I'll just bounce back much stronger. And yes, just remember this. You will come back much stronger from this crisis that you and the whole region is living right now, and you're already rewriting the history of our region. You are
I
doing it. So
completely
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Amen, Dalia, and I'm waiting for you in Israel.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah.
Bye.
It's 2025. America's debt is over 37 trillion, and the dollar just had its worst crash since 1973. That puts your savings and your family's future at risk. That's why we trust Alpha Omega Gold, a company that stands unapologetically with Israel and supports Stand Tall Israel. Visit ao.gold/stand to claim your free precious metals wayfinder guide or call 1-855-426-4653 today. Protect your future before it's too late.